Yep.
So that was strange.
It just randomly did. I don't know if you're live or not. I don't see you live. No.
It says I'm live.
Yeah, I don't see it on Facebook. It says you're live 46
No?
seconds. I just refreshed. I don't
Yeah,
see
like
it.
the song, the intro song, like yeah, there are 2 people watching on Facebook.
Wow. I don't see it. I'm looking on Facebook. Maybe it's a
Hmm.
delay. Yeah.
It may be a delay. Yeah, we're live. Brandon is definitely streaming it right now, and I hear
Okay.
us. Yes. All right. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Clearly, we're working out some technical difficulties. This is episode 27 of Politics for Pen. Excuse the low grade video on my end. I'm in Corpus Christi, and the Wi-Fi is abysmal. But I got my good friend, my brother, one of the smartest guys I've ever met in my life, Mr. Durrell K. Douglas, in
Thank
the
you for
building.
having
He
me.
might be a descendant of that dude Frederick. You are so welcome, man. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I'm a fan.
so, man, and if for those of you who don't know, because I'm a fan of Durrell as well, Durrell is the host of the Black House podcast. Is that the official name, the Black House
Yeah,
podcast?
live from the Black House. Yeah, live from the Black House.
What
Yep.
what made you decide to call it the Black House? That's very much so on brand for you.
Yeah, so years ago, I used to run communications for Texas Organizing Project. So I used to have to write, press releases and media advisories. And so they would get boring. And so I created like this alternate world, which was the Black House. So if I was gonna stop at Timmy Chan's and have a kickback later, I would call it a state dinner at the Black House. If I was catching a Southwest flight to Dallas, I would call it Black Force One. And so it just kind of took off from there. I'm corny when I want to be.
I mean, for sure corny, but also very cool.
Thank you. And that
Also
stands
very
for Black
cool.
House right
It's
there.
it's it's nice.
So I called my place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got if you don't believe in your brand, who will?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't believe, no one else will. I mean, I like it. It's a good origin story. Today our featured artist is the one and only Leroy Cook out of Houston, Texas. Shout out to Leroy Cook. Leroy is a phenomenal R&B singer. I decided to go, I decided to go R&B today. You know what I'm saying? Because I got Durrell on the show. You know what I mean? I figured Durrell would appreciate a nice little R&B groove.
Yes.
I was trying to get Sexy Red on, but she didn't return none of my texts.
Is that who was playing? Is that who was playing when the intro played?
So no, that actually I actually made that.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think I might have made it like using AI or something like that. I can't remember. But that's an original like instrumental. Like the whole production is something that we made in house.
Nice. And I'm looking for this to share it. I'm on Politics of Pen. I don't see it. Is it on your personal page?
It's on my personal page. That's why you can't see it. Yeah. I stream from my personal page. Yes. That's why. That makes sense. That makes sense. But so before we get into the show, I'm going to play a track from my boy Leroy. Now Leroy is a crooner. So this track is called "I Want You." I mean, the boy does an amazing job. If you've never ever,
Is he based in Houston?
He is. He is based in Houston. Leroy is a co-founder of the Houston Black Cinema Club.
Okay, I know Jerry Madison.
Yes, Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yes, they work together.
Yeah.
Yes. So Leroy is the other gentleman, the dark skinned gentleman with the glasses.
Okay. Okay.
That's Leroy. Yeah. So Leroy is multifaceted, brilliant guy, loves Houston, super artistic, has a phenomenal voice. You can follow him. You see the ticker above your head. You can follow Leroy Cook on all social media profiles. He also is an amazing. He does amazing at visuals. His music videos are like super intentional, like color coordination, the design, the like just everything. Like he looks at it from like the cinematic view. He does a phenomenal job. So if you've never heard of Leroy Cook, you should. Just for more reasons than one, the brother is amazing, very talented. And we're gonna get into "I Want You" by Leroy Cook, and then I'm going to discuss. Yes, great plug, Durrell, great plug. This is "I Want You" by Leroy Cook.
Let's go. Girl, it's something about the way you do what you do. So stuck in the moment, time get frozen, got to break through. I like how your doors while falling down, I'm making my move. Running all through my mind, I can't deny I want you. She be here before like deja vu. Light up my darkness night like the moon. Till the sun come up, we'll be going till noon. Let's play a game with you do what I do. When I go fast, then you go fast too. When I take my time, you take your time too. And we'll be coming back for a make a round two. With you on my side, I cannot lose. All we do is win, baby, yeah I do. Having my way, you're the one I choose. Romance, put you in the mood. Life going stellar, you done got your crew. Two-step in, baby girl, let's dance. Hands around your waist, got me in a trance. I can see you clearly now at this glance. Future looking bright, now you're in my plans. Girl, it's something about the way you do what you do. So stuck in the moment, time get frozen, got to break through. I like how your doors while falling down, I'm making my move. Running all through my mind, I can't deny I want you. She be here before like deja vu. Light up my darkness night like the moon. Till the sun come up, we'll be going till noon. Let's play a game with you do what I do.
That was "I Want You" by Leroy Cook. You heard it here on Politics with Pan, where you're gonna get that real and you're gonna get some real in your ear. I told you.
I love it.
I told you. I am a curator of amazing sounds, and I knew that
you know what?
would
We gotta connect about that. I'm putting together this thing. I have a vision for like Tiny Desk for Houston, but not just like music, but also with like spoken word, poetry, like somebody who has something to say. So it's like your 3 minutes. Yeah, and so we got like the venue and everything. We'll connect on it, but like that's one of like next things that I want to work on.
That would be nice. You know, I used to be before I decided to take politics all the way seriously. You know, I was a rapper for quite a while, and then I decided.
This guy, what don't you do? I learned about Japan, and then now I'm learning that she used to be a rapper. That's wild.
Yeah, for sure. I was a rapper named Japan. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's very. I've lived a life, you know, like we all have. You were on Divorce Court. What was that? What was that show?
That was Judge Mathis.
Judge Mathis.
So I get a call at work. This is back. I used to work at the prison. That was my first job out of high school. So they call me and have a phone call. I'm thinking like somebody done died or something. And it's one of my friends who's like, I need you to be a witness for court. And I'm like, witness court? What? And so she explained it. She's like, Judge Mathis, they're going to pay for your flight. They're going to pay for your hotel. They're going to give you a per diem. I was like, well, this is before Say Less. But I was like, say less.
Yeah.
And, I ended up being a surprise witness in a Judge Mathis court case.
That's
20
cool
years
as
ago.
hell.
Yeah,
that's cool as hell. I actually, so like, for those of you who don't know, I'm in Corpus Christi for the Texas Democratic Convention. And for those of you who don't know, and I know Durrell doesn't know, so you're going to learn another thing about me. I went to middle school right outside of Corpus Christi. I went to school in a town called Portland, Texas. Yeah. And so when we got here today, I went and saw one of my old homies from middle school, and I went down my old street that I used to live on and rang the doorbell to my next door neighbor, and she was at home. Miss Priscilla was at home, and I have not seen Miss Priscilla since I was like 12. Yeah, it life always comes full circle. But Portland, Gregory Portland, like greatest Corpus Christi area, always has a special place in my heart because like I kind of grew up here a little bit. Like those like formative like middle school years from like 11 and like 13, like, I lived here. Like so like running around like out here in this little like country town and learning about racism and like, like a real like Southern Texas experience. Like it was, yeah.
So you've been all over then, like
for sure.
So is it military or like what?
Yeah. So my stepfather is a sailor. He was an electrician in the military. So him and my mom met when I was 6. And then they met. She was the love of his life. He was like, I had never, I'd been around the block, boy, and I met your mama. And that was it, right? And he told her he was going to take her around the world, and he did. That's how I ended up going to Japan and all that other kind of stuff. And and so that's how we ended up here, living in Portland. I went to Gregory Portland Intermediate, and I went to Gregory Portland Middle for a year because I lived here for 2 years. And then after the 7th grade, we left and went to Jacksonville, Florida, and then just kind of bounced around. Yeah, that's that Navy brat life. Yeah, it was fun, man. I mean, I had a good time here. Like, I got my first job here at Polly's Pamper Pets. I was a dog walker.
Polly's Paper Pets.
Polly's Pampered Pets. It was this older white lady named Polly, and she had this dog shelter, like kennel thing, right? And she would hire like the young kids in the area to walk the dogs. And I would walk from my house across the little freeway thing, like right when you you got to drive through Portland to get to Corpus. So right when you are finna go to the bridge, like that's Portland. So if you look to your left, there's a Shell gas station there. Polly's used to be across the street from that Shell gas station. I used to go over there. It was like this little place. They used to have like these little Mexican fritters. I don't know what it was called, but it was delicious. I used to go buy that shit, and I used to go walk these dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Walker.
Good old Portland,
Texas. Because I know when you're headed towards Corpus, you can see the bridge in the distance. Yes. And it's like, are we about to go over that? Am I going to have to drive over that? And you do.
You do. Yeah. It's like you got to go into New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was there a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months, and I had just Googled like restaurants near me, or like, I think when I was planning my trip, I saw, there's Padre Island. And so there's a lot on Padre Island, but it's South Padre Island, which is a totally different place than Padre Island. There's nothing on Padre Island at all. So yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Corpus is a gem. I remember being and we'll move on after this. I remember being in middle school, and my stepdad, he is a sailor, and so I remember he would go out, and I remember he would come back and tell us the craziest stories about like these bar fights that used to happen in Corpus amongst the sailors and like the locals. And I remember one time he was telling me like this guy got thrown over like the banister at the club because he was like hollering at the wrong, like, this is in Corpus Christi. It was going down. Wow. It's like 2002.
Wow, Corpus Christi.
Corpus Christi, they had a naval base in Ingleside. A little history, yeah. And that Ingleside naval base, I can't remember what ship my dad was on, but he was on some ship on there. He might have been on dry dock duty. Who knows?
But I don't even know what it means. Dry dock means you're not on the ship, you're doing something on the land, probably.
Yeah, like you work in the office or something like that. Like, you might be the MPs, they don't get on the boat. So Yeah, and I don't even know if it's actually called dry dock duty. But if you are a military
Then that's
somebody,
what they call it.
you know what I'm talking about. They
Yeah,
didn't get on the boat that day.
yeah.
But yeah. You know, very interesting journeyman life that was
Wow.
provided for me by
That
my
probably
mother.
influences the way you view the world, having all those
Yeah.
experiences.
It
Yeah.
totally does. Like I've experienced so many different like places and like people and like perspectives
Mm-hmm.
that like things don't necessarily shock me anymore. Like I have, as I got older, became like increasingly more pro-black
Mm-hmm.
because I
Mm-hmm.
grew up in a lot of like non-black spaces, a lot of
Yeah.
places where we weren't predominantly us. And then I go to Prairie View, and there's a lot of us. And then I moved to Houston, and I decided to move to the part of Houston where there are a lot of us. So it's a lot easier to like to step into that than versus living in a place like Cypress or Springs or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, intentional and very intentional about putting myself around blackness. Yeah, because the only other place we lived where we were like in a black community, I would say, was Jacksonville, Florida. And Jacksonville is very black, depending on like where you are in Jacksonville. My family from the north side. Shout out to Reebok High School. Shout out to Samuel Wolfson High School, even though that's not a black school. But everybody, all my aunts and uncles, they all went to Reebok. Like it was like a whole thing. Like Reebok was where the blacks went. Reigns is where the
It was
whites
their
went.
Yates. It was their Jack Yates or their Phyllis Wheatley. Yeah.
Oh, is that how that was? So Phyllis Wheatley was where the white people went?
So no. Well, we're black people. So it was. I want to say Jack Yates was first, but the alumni at Jack Yates in Houston, they're like their own thing, and Phyllis Wheatley as well. It's like a thing.
Yes.
When I lived
Like
in
there
Detroit,
are associations. Like Cass Tech.
Yes.
Yeah. I got a homegirl named Ashley. She has been organizing their reunion for, I think it's like the class of 06. She's crazy right now on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes, like with the green and the
Detroit was the first place where I was part of the majority. Detroit was the first place where you're going to renew your driver's license. Everybody behind the counter is black, and they playing Luther Vandross on
the DMV.
Yes,
in the DMV is so black in there.
Yes, and so it's just, and they call the Secretary of State there, but like it really is like an experience to like live there and be like, oh, okay, so this is what this feels like. So shout out Detroit.
Shout out to Detroit.
Yes.
Like I didn't know how to make money for myself until I moved to Detroit.
Yeah.
It's that kind of city. Like it's such an empowering black place. And anytime I talk to people about Detroit, if they have anything negative to say, I tell them that's what white people told you.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I go to. Like, because if you actually went to the city of Detroit, and don't get me wrong, there are negative things about all cities, right? Like there are people who will try to rob you or harm you, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter.
I lived there for 3 years, had none of that. Never had a single thing stolen. Never. And I mean, it was been days where I'd left my backpack in my car and all of that. But no, it's the story that's told. And that is Detroit. Shout out Detroit.
Man, shout out to the D, man. I had some of the best Middle Eastern food I ever had in my life. Like the best halal. Oh my God. Hamtramck got the spots.
Hamtramck and Dearborn.
Oh, Dearborn, yes. Yeah.
I mean, I was all halal for a while. I wanted all halal. I'm in there. So yeah. And it's a totally different like way of life. It's a totally different speed. They have what's called the Black Slate there, and the Black Slate has been in existence since Coleman Young was the first black mayor of Detroit. And when it's election time, it is tradition that the people who are pushing those cards, they wear these aprons. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, "What are y'all? What is going on? They got these aprons on." But people swear by that Black Slate card. And as a candidate who was endorsed by the Black Slate, the accountability that I saw that came from, it's like, okay, now we're endorsing you, And if you say some shit that we don't like on these forums, somebody gonna give you a phone call.
Yeah.
And when we're doing X events, we need this many volunteers from, if you're running for this race, we need this. If you're running for that race, we need that. And it was kind of like this thing. And I was like, wow, like that's the model.
Yeah.
And there's a lady, Nalaja, is who kind of runs it. And she's old school, number 2 pencil, clipboard, paper, right? Don't come in there trying to, right? And there's a system. And it's like, wow, like people swear by that card. You go to the polling locations, they're not trying to hear nothing you got to say unless it's the person with that card. And it's like, how do we duplicate that? I've seen versions of like HBET exists here, but to where it's so like precise, like they not trying to do nothing. And I guess because like it's just proven or trusted. Yeah.
I want to borrow that apron idea. I think that is a phenomenal marker.
Everybody wears the aprons, and what's wild, almost like the way it works for politics here, you get the same, like everybody knows Mel, right? Miss Mel, who's at the Sunnyside Multi-Service Center. No matter what election it is, she's going to be out there pushing cards. Those people are used to pushing cards. Like they make use of that.
Yeah.
And so they have a big, the way they do it, they have a card pushing like orientation that you have to go to. So if you want to push cards for them, we meet at the Shrine of the Black Madonna on X day.
Yeah.
You're going to meet the candidates that you're pushing. You're going to practice. You're going to do the whole thing. You're going to get your assignments.
Yeah.
And so it's very uniform. And I'm like, oh, like rather than random people off the street.
Yeah.
Getting paid $15 an hour to push cards for candidates that they've never met, and there's no accountability. There's been no like standard set for what is expected of pushing cards, because democracy is on the line. Like you're not just pushing cards, you are increasing the vote for this slate of candidates that the people we have chosen. So this is heavy.
Yeah. Like,
don't be sitting up under the tent.
Smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, smoking cigarettes. Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes, pissing me the hell off.
Well, here's what I did. I did it. I think it was was it the primary? One of them, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna block off half the day.
Yeah.
And I want to go and show up to the public because I want to show the public kind of what this looks like. You know, what does it look like on a random day at West Gray? You know, a random day at the Sunnyside Multi-Service Center. Like, who are the people and what are they doing? So,
yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I had my utopian experience in Detroit, and I learned a lot about political organizing and like, you know, how I learned like that. I learned in Detroit that the barber can be one of the most powerful people in the city.
Yes.
Like, and that, right, like, and somebody who's been in politics for so long, but you know, like I studied politics. Like, I got a bachelor's in political science. I went and got a master's degree in public administration. But it's a lot of theory, though. Like, it's theory. Yeah. But in practice, you don't need none of that shit, right? Like, it doesn't matter at all for real.
It doesn't.
Like, and people be, you know, and I get it, right? Like, and I tell people all the time, like, go to college if you're going to be a doctor and an engineer, like something like that, right? But if you want to be a politician, just go get in the field.
Jump in the pool. I'll tell you, there's a guy, his name is Lamar Lemons, and he was on my team. He was one of our advisors when I ran for state rep. And so the first mailer that we sent out, I was proud of it, man. It was an 8.5 by 11 glossy. It was one of those mailers that said, damn it, this a campaign, right? So he gets it. We're sitting there, we're having a meeting. He's like, no, you're doing this all wrong. And I'm like, okay, well, what's your idea? He's like, he's sketching it. He's like, we're going to put your face on this side. And then we're going to put Frederick Douglass on the other. And then it's going to say, the legacy continues.
That's cool as shit.
No, I was like, absolutely not. I'm not playing.
That's cool.
And then he was like, "You got too many words on here." He was like, "You got too many words on this mailer." He's like, "You got seniors that are getting this in the mail. They gonna have to pull out their magnifying glass." Like he's giving me like the legit. So I was like, I hadn't threw that veto, but that was the one thing where I was like, you know what? No, we are not sending out this Microsoft Word art, Microsoft Paint mailer. Because when I actually saw it, I was like, no, it was worse than Canva. But that was one of our best performing mailers. I will be at the gas station and people come up and be like, "But are you really related?"
You know what I mean? Like it gets the people going.
He was like, "We just need them to know you're black."
Yes.
He was like, "We just need them to know you're black. Your last name is Douglas. Your first name Durrell. Some people know, some people don't." Boom, and that worked. I was like, "Man."
For
but
sure.
Those are things that you don't get on the academic side, right? There's no poll that would have showed you that. That's just know-how. That's him knowing Detroit, right? And it was a bunch of other stuff that I thought to do. Like another thing that's strange, they use the half-size signs. So you know how we use
the full, like the big
our
daddy.
signs look like this here, right? A yard sign. They do it like this. So they're little thin signs, which I thought was weird, but that's how they do it. You get twice as many for the same price.
You do get twice as many for the same price. And if a bunch of them popped up around Houston, people would go crazy. Yeah. They would know. Matter of fact, speaking of Detroit, if it's not one of the legends of the D herself, in the comments, shout out to the OG Tracy Peace. Like, man, Durrell, when you was running for state rep, if you would have had Tracy on your team, dog.
Man,
Tracy is serious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a level of organizing. There's a level of like real pro-black work that goes to Detroit that you will not see anywhere else.
Nowhere else.
It is its own thing, and it is to be studied.
When I left Houston and went up there and I came back, I was like, I can't do this with y'all like this no more.
Yes. Right.
I can't participate in this. Like, I have seen the light. I've seen the light. I saw the light. And I know that there's a different way. There's a better way. Like, there's a stronger way. I've seen it. I know it works. I've seen it work.
Right.
I've seen it work. Like, I was like, even within the organization that I worked with, right? Just the way that they had their ducks in a row and the way, the training and like the systems, it was so vastly different than anything I had ever experienced organizing down here.
Yeah. They had a, and this is before the primary, for anyone who's running as a Democrat, they had trainings that you and your staff could attend. Mm-hmm. They had recommended vendors. So they would send an email out saying, "We're working with this union vendor. Here's how many, yard signs, this, that, and the prices, like all in one thing." I'm like, wow. Like, they took the guesswork out of all that. And I was like, that's brilliant. And then think about it. All of the people that are running for the Democratic ticket are probably using these people. They're going to get a discount when it's time. Whoever wins, boom, who the party working with? Those vendors. Just wow. And I won Wayne County. That's my claim to fame. I won Detroit. I won Wayne. Yeah. People calling me. They were calling me saying congratulations. But you had to look. I lost Oakland. Oakland County said, "No, sir." Okay, yeah. I mean, but no cross 8 Mile. Yeah. Don't take your black ass cross 8 Mile. Right. But everything happens for a reason, and I think it was cool to see that. So now I'm like, okay, when is my time to run? I know what it's supposed to look and feel like. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that story. I mean, I have been telling people, and I didn't want anybody to think that I'm not pro college, because I'm very much so pro college. Yeah. But as somebody who went to school, spent a lot of money going to school, decided to become an entrepreneur, I am using my political science degree, but in my own earnest, right? I didn't go and attach myself, because honestly,
as a political scientist, there aren't many Black places to go
Right.
to, like, to, you know what I'm saying, to strengthen your
Right.
muscles, right? Like,
Right.
and so what I have decided to do is I have decided to, right, like, so I joined HBAD, you know, I'm here in Houston, and I'm like, where can I go to, like, flex this political muscle? And, you know, I've been, like, really studying, like, okay, how can I do this within the churches, right? Because it's our biggest, most prominent Black legacy institution. And luckily, for the thank God that more churches are becoming more socially aware, more socially active, and I think that they can potentially serve as those think tanks that don't really exist in our community, because they got the capacity for us to be able to do the research on the bodies, right? Because there are these large bodies of Black people who have different opinions, different life experiences. We can be able to do social science researches within the churches. We can be able to do political research within the churches. We can put out academic writings about the things that plague our communities through the churches. They can be those institutions that are largely controlled by white people, and they put out these stats that say we kill each other the most, and we use welfare the most, and all this other kind of stuff. But those studies are done by white control institutions who don't have real proximity to Black life.
Right. And then I would argue too, a lot of times you have campaigns that will, going back to that story with Mr. Lemons giving his advice, you have a lot of outside people that know nothing about the Black community that will come in and say, here's what y'all should do. Here's what will work. And it's like, no, it won't. And you can't phone it in. You cannot phone it in. There. If you're running statewide in Texas, you have to intentionally reach out to the Black community. You cannot phone it in. You cannot, because we can tell. Now, if you want to go and do a little, you know, something at the Third Ward Multi-Service Center, and don't nobody there look like they're from Third Ward, and nobody who organizes Sunnyside or Acres Homes or Cashmere Gardens or Scenic Woods, none of them are in the know, it's going to be for naught. It's going to be as if it didn't happen, because it's going to be fodder, because it's an ecosystem. It has to be connected. No one's going to talk about the thing. No one's going to know about the thing. No one's going to take it as seriously. And no one's going to take your campaign as seriously unless you really demonstrate that you're for real.
Yeah, no, very much so. Like, I mean, that's been a problem with the Democratic Party, you know, like just everywhere, like in America, when it comes to Black voters, you know, like, and you know, right now right now I'm down here in Corpus Christi, and the Texas Democratic Party is having their state convention. We are halfway through the election cycle. Excuse me. And I think Black voter sentiment is at an all-time low.
Very.
Yeah. Like, Black people are pissed.
It's not even, you know how you checking for a post, like, hey, where's that? Is it there? You know? Yeah.
It's pretty bad right now. Like, Black people are, I'm getting ate up on TikTok. I'm getting ate up on Facebook.
I deleted it off my phone. I deleted TikTok. I was like, they can have it. They can have TikTok for now.
The clips, my clips, like any clip, when people get on, right? Because I got some homies. Shout out to my boy Stooches Booches. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my best friends. He a pain in my ass though. But you know, like, there's a subsect of white people in this country who are cool as a motherfucker. Stooches Booches, Tracy Peace, you know what I'm saying? People like that, like, cool as a motherfucker. But then there's a larger group of white people who are not cool at all. They're complete and total assholes. There's no reason for them to be racist like that. There's no reason for them to talk to people like that. And they get on their phones and they work them thumbs until they have carpet tone so they can say bad things to you.
They do, yes.
Yo, and they are, I'm talking about, so I had Mel on. Was that last week? It was last week or week before. And Mel and I, we talked about the Carmelo Anthony case, oh my God, they talked to us so bad in the comments about that. Mel said how she honestly felt about James Tallarico and how she feels like he needs to earn her vote right. And the reason I have these conversations on my platform is not to thrash or bash anyone. And I would like to make that very apparent. The whole point of this show is to bring awareness to what is happening. And
what
so
people are actually saying.
Right.
What's
like
actually happening.
Right. I want, because I want Democrats to win. And whether you want to hear.
We're in the beauty shops, we're in the community, and we're in you're saying one thing on CNN. Let me tell you what I'm hearing at Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church when I'm walking towards the parking lot. Let me tell you what I hear at the barbershop.
What they're saying.
Like that's a thing. But some people don't want to hear it. That's just like I was pointing out the fact that I think for county judge Orlando Sanchez, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are some Democrat Latinos that are going to vote for him because of his surname.
I did see that.
And there were some people that were like, "Here you go, being negative." No, do y'all want to hear it now, or when those 2 or 3 points make a difference in November?
Yeah,
we could address it if we talk about it. Now we have to talk about the thing.
Yeah. You got to call a spade, and people like the status quo of politics for so long has been dark rooms, cigars, hush hush, don't say the thing, and we in the Black community, we have nothing for all of that hush hush. Yes. We have nothing for all of them backroom deals. We don't have anything. There are no hospitals in our communities. We have very little food options that are healthy, that won't give you hypertension, high blood pressure, goddamn glaucoma, or anything else that is going to have you lying in the bed calling on the Lord. But we got a church on every corner so you can call on the Lord for your illness, but you can't go and get a prescription pill.
Right. And I'll tell you this. First of all, let me say, I want Tallarico to win. That's number one.
Right. Let me before you do that, let me do this real quick. Hold on. Where is it? Okay, go.
Yes. That's number one. Number two, I am voting for James Tallarico. Okay. Number three, he reminds me of hospital food. It's in season. There's just something, it's just not exciting. It's almost like when you have when you have the potluck, right? And it could be something that you really like. And they packing around this macaroni salad and they're like, "Do you want some?" And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't look good to me, right? And I think that has to be fair. And we have to look at the fact, if somebody works on your team or one of your supporters or a lot of your supporters that are saying some very racist stuff, some very, just the way they slant, I mean, oh my gosh, the way they were going after Crockett and Tracy Gibson at the same time. It was just like a 1-2 punch. Mm-hmm. How can you then expect people to be enthusiastic when you're not? Give me something to want to, you know what? When the Astros are in the playoffs and it's looking like something, everybody buying their orange, guess what? I'm going to buy an orange t-shirt too. I'm going to go to H-E-B. I'm going to get my orange, thing. But till then, right, you're only going to have your ride or die Astros fans. Is that enough to fill the stadium? That's the question that we're going to have to answer in November.
I say no. I don't think so. Mm-hmm. I'm adamant with that. The numbers don't support that. I don't think that the white moderates who are not happy with Trump are so upset that they would defect from the Republican Party. Right. I don't think that they have enough faith in the Democratic Party to jump over to this side to be led by the people who are in charge. So it's not even a James Tallarico thing. It's a party thing.
Yes.
It is. What do they think about our party? And at this moment, they think that our party is soft, right? Like that's what they say. That is the rhetoric. If you go on Reddit, you get on Twitter, you get on Facebook, you get on YouTube. That's what they say. They say our party is soft. They say there are no real men leading the party, right? Like there's no strength over there, right? Like it's just gay people and trans people and immigrants and this, and they don't care about black people. Like that's what they're saying. Like
That's the picture. And you look at the way that they are already, Paxton is going after Tallarico. Those are the things that they're shooting. And season after season, session after session, we saw it with All Red in 24. We saw it with MJ Khan. We see it all the time. This want to find the middle of the road candidate that's going to convince people to hop over. That does not happen.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a losing strategy, and you know it's a losing strategy because the Republicans, they ain't never did it.
Yeah, they don't do it,
and they've been winning for a long time, right? We just talking about for the love, doing it for the love of the game, like on some Michael Jordan shit. Like they be doing it for the love of the game.
Yes,
and they be winning. Like so, if you know, like one of my favorite entrepreneurs ever is Virgil, right? Virgil Abloh. And Virgil was so influential is because Virgil would see somebody else's play and rewrite it for himself in a way that you would forget about the other person doing it.
Wow.
Virgil was such an innovator. I mean, like he influenced, like the way you see people wear their clothes now, the way you see like, artistry and like music and all that kind of stuff, like the blend of like music, hip hop, technology, high fashion, right? Like you see Louis Vuitton and all them, they got streetwear now, right? Like that is the influence of people like Virgil. That's the influence of people like Kanye. That's the influence of people like Pharrell. Like people who saw a play and said, I can do this so well my way that people will forget that they was doing it. Right. And the Republicans and that Southern strategy, that shit worked so well.
Yes.
It worked so well that and to think about this in a mindset of like, we're in a battle, right? Like you said, we're in a fight for democracy. Yes. Right. Like, and there's a time where you gotta go, all right, cool, I'm gonna stop punching you in the face, right? Because it's not nice. Like you can't defend yourself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But like before you get to that point, like you keep swinging though. Like you don't be like, oh my God, let me have mercy for my enemy.
No, you go in.
And we are showing way too much mercy.
Yeah.
We are not going for the jugular.
Right.
As we should be.
Absolutely.
Like cut them off at the knees.
Right. Because there's so much. There's so much to use. And it's almost, it reminds me of the domino table. The domino table. A rite of passage as a Black man, I was talking about this not too long ago. I had to be like 11. And I'm at the family reunion, and this was the first year my uncles let me play dominoes.
Yeah.
And they let me win. And that's my origin story. Yeah. Because I'm a shit talker at the domino table, right? I hurt feelings.
No holds barred.
At the domino table. I have had people's aunties or wives to come over and be like, he have to slam the domino, he gonna break the table. Well, this is the way I play. It's the way I play. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that is the rigor that is necessary to really capture attention, because this sit and be fit shit that they're doing, this very lackluster, like hospital food, let's hold hands, let's be nice, that does not excite and it does not garner attention. So what I'm hoping is while y'all are in Corpus, that everybody goes to their respective counties, and it's a whole new onward to November.
Well, shameless plug. I'm running to be the SDEC committee man for the Black Caucus.
Yes, very proud of that. By the way, let me tell you, your whole rollout, the video, all the. Let me tell you, it's also a billboard for your services, for your consultant.
This is true.
Brilliant.
I appreciate that. And honestly, me, I just, for the love of the game, right?
Yes.
Like for the love of the game. But that's why I tell people I would do this if nobody gave me a dime. Because I give a fuck. That's just it.
Yeah.
But I have been straying away. I will be honest. Yeah. I've been straying away from like being in the front, from saying like, hey, I'm the dude. Yeah. Right. And maybe it's a little imposter syndrome, right? Like I'm not the suit wearing guy, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's not Christian. I wear earrings. I got tattoos down my arms, right? Like, you know, you might catch me at the turning point on the Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like, you might find me in there, right?
Right.
But I have a deep love for Blackness and the Black community, and making sure that, like, not just my daughter, but my cousins, my partner's kids, and kids I don't know can grow up and see people like you and myself and my boy Brandon, who's sitting there off camera, like strong, brilliant Black men who are fully themselves, who are able to participate in society in a way that is ungated, that is not prohibitive and restricted by the small opinions of people who hate for no reason. You know what I mean? And I feel like this whole opportunity to sit on the STC, right? Because we got to be real about the relationship with the Democratic Party and Black people.
Yes.
Right? Like, we, you know what I'm saying? We get crumbs so often, right? Like, you know, and people are trying to make it seem like it's a little thing, but it's like just being able to have a thing like a movie theater in the neighborhood, a skating rink.
Right.
Or somebody who own like a plumbing company or an electrician company or something like that, like those resources that people say, well, you'll get there, or why y'all didn't do this and that and the third. And it's like everybody forgot that they took from us. Everybody forgot that before LBJ and them coalesced, that we was on the other side with the Republicans. We was trying to get what we wanted to. And like Roland Martin said, we trying to get the best deal where we fit in. And right now we over here trying to get the best deal. But while we over here trying to get the best deal, let's not negotiate ourselves under the table.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I think there's all of the gatekeeping, a lot of the people that these last few cycles, and it's happened nationwide, little trickles of it, they have thrown everything in the kitchen sink behind their candidate only for them to fall. Right. So it's showing that the way that things have always worked no longer works.
It do not work.
Out with that. And I would argue a lot of the people, like, I'll be 40 this year. 15 years ago, when I was 24, 25, the people that I looked up to that were untouchable, that were like, wow, little did I know, they're just like you and I.
They're just people.
They're no different. They're not smarter. They're not, right? Like the only difference, the equalizer, I would say, is like actually having the feet on the ground to know where the grass tops are and how stuff actually works. Because stuff looks different when you're in the stands watching the football game.
Totally.
Than when you've been at practice and you know, like, oh, there's film and there's these plays are not serendipitous. There's an actual, like, they drew this stuff, right? And so once you start looking at it like that, then it's like, okay, so now let's get information and let's be unapologetic about what spot I'm taking in this thing. Come hell or high water, without asking for permission. Because in reality, if more of us owned more, like, that's my big thing. My big thing for this era in my life is about ownership. It's about, like, in different campaigns where candidates will call to pick my brain. Let me tell you something. That was 10 years ago. No one picks my brain. Send the check.
Yeah.
Because when they call, they gonna get a check, right? Even there are local Democrats, right? Local Democrats that would say, I'll give you one, Diane Troutman. Diane Troutman and staff, you know, wanted to meet with us to talk about what it would look like to do grand jury outreach at barbershops and beauty shops. Who got the contract? People who didn't look like us, right? So I think those end up being like places where we have to hold ourselves and each other accountable. Because guess what? They're gonna call me first, and if I don't do it, they'll call you. And if you give it, if you're giving then what leverage do we have?
Right.
And then how are we able to, you know, as much Black support as these statewide candidates need, they should be down there popping bottles. Okay, it should be. You shouldn't have to pay for nothing, right?
The red rooster should be jumping.
Right, it should be jumping. They should have Beyonce down there in the whatever thing performing.
There should be a small CDC in every major black
There
state.
you go. Because if not, here's the play that's being set up.
Mm-hmm.
It's being set up to be things didn't work out because ... Right?
This is true.
It's the way that it's been set up. And so I don't know. There's opportunity that's out there, but I think we have to go out and take it. We have to be prepared for those opportunities when they come. And like the people that you look up to are no more equipped than you are.
They are, I was talking to Terrence Shanks today.
Mm-hmm.
I just seen Terrence. And he was talking to me about my race.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying to me, he said, politicians put their pants on just like you.
There you go.
And I said, oh, I know. My motto is, y'all work for me.
There you go.
It's not the other way around.
There you go.
Like, we work together to help with you. We work together to help grow the community.
There you go.
Like, it's not a servitude thing. It is not, I don't want, if no one learns anything from me doing this, it is that whoever your mayor is, whoever your city council person is, your alderman, wherever you live, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
They are people just like you.
Yes.
Yes, you can be in awe of, their branding and the persona and stuff like that. But don't let that stop you from having a real world conversation with that person like they're a deity and not a person.
Absolutely. And I said the wrong name. I meant Marilyn Burgess. I said Diane Troutman.
Sorry, Diane.
Sorry, Diane.
Correction.
Arrangement. Yeah. Correction.
Artistic. What's that? Journalistic integrity.
There you go. Journalistic. Yeah. She probably did some shit too. So, yeah.
But for that shit, Diane, we apologize.
Yes.
On behalf of the Politics and Pan podcast.
Yeah.
I don't even know Diane, but I like the name Diane.
I'll be saying this on my podcast. I'll be like, Durrell said it. So I'll say Durrell said it.
Yeah. I mean, before I do, I got a couple questions because I want to ask you a couple of things that I think will be really, really, really beneficial for people who, want to go into business for themselves, who have a big idea and want to figure out how to land the plane, right? Like, before we get into that, because we got about 8 minutes, because I'm on convention times, because I would otherwise do this until 10. But I got one more track from that boy Leroy. I got one more track to share with y'all from Leroy. This is let me see which one is it. This is Never Be the Same. Now Leroy got some new music coming out. So, if you haven't already, show my man some love. You can see his Instagram handle. Scroll at the bottom of the screen. Go on Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Lookbook, whatever book. Go on there. Follow Leroy Cook. Listen to the music. Support the art. If you are into movies, follow the Black. Let me get the right goddamn name because I'm not even finna cinema. Yep, damn, there it is. Boom. Follow the Black Cinema Club HTX. BCC HTX. They got some cool shit going on. They are really, really, really turning up in the city as far as cinema is concerned. If you don't know, there's some legislation going through the state house right now. And I think it already passed that is empowering filmmakers to come to the state of Texas and make films. So if you want to make a film, and look, this is an ad, state of Texas. So if this goes viral, guess what? Y'all need to put me somewhere. But in all seriousness, because I want to see more Black filmmakers out there doing their thing, and Tubi will let you get on, right? Yeah. So the state of Texas is incentivizing people to make films. Figure it out. Read a book, nigga. Okay? And I'm not talking to the real, I'm talking to you. Read a book, nigga. Pick it up, read a law. If you don't understand what the law means, put it in ChatGPT. If you can't figure that out, DM me. D with 2 E's, Christian Alexander. Christian like you love Jesus, Alexander like the great. Find out, brother or sister. I don't want to hear that. Oh, I ain't know. All these laws spell money.
There you go.
They all spell money. Get on it or get lost. They're not trying to help you. We got to build our own utopia. That's what it is. I'm going to get off of my high horse and I'm going to turn on this Leroy Cook. I'm going to ask Durrell some questions.
Yes.
This is Never Be the Same by Leroy Cook.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll never be the same way when you met me. You changed my playing ways. I'll never be the same way. I'll never be the same way when you met me. You changed my playing ways. I'll never be the same way. She just wanna be loved. Someone to give her the world and more. I won't lead you astray. I'll just lead the way and shine my light. I'll never be the same way when you met me. You changed my playing ways. I'll never be the same way. I just wanna love you. Let me love you. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. Let me love you. I just wanna love you.
That was Never Be the Same by Leroy Cook. I told you the boy is good.
How did you do that? That was so cool that you do that. I got something to add to my repertoire over here.
Wait.
The music. Like I'm always looking for new ways to find new music. So like, yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, nah, man. Like I said, I used to do music, but I never really wanted
music. You always do it. You just.
I mean, well, I never wanted to be the person doing the singing, right? So I am a producer. Like that's my thing, right? Like I know it sound good, right? Like I don't really miss, right? When it comes to like what jams, right? Like because music is a feeling for me. It's what I mean. Like so, I don't even have to understand the language. Like if it feel good, I know it's a jammer, and I know that feelings are like universal, right? If you walk into a room smiling, you're more than likely going to give somebody a smile. Like so, I think the music is the same way, and we have a lot of heavy conversation, like politically and stuff like that, and it's a nice way to like cleanse the palate. If you will.
Yes, I love it. Love it.
And then kind of ease into the next thing, which is the next thing. So I want to ask you, bro. I know you started your professional career. You worked at the prison, which is wild. I always wanted to ask you questions about that. Like working at the prison, like I watch Oz, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh my God, is it like that? Oh my God.
It's not like that. It's like being a counselor at a summer camp, for real. They play basketball, they like play domino. Like it's now you do have your moments, but yeah, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good to know. I've always wanted to ask that. But as you grew right into you, right, like what gave you the unmitigated gall to be like, look what y'all think about Durrell, or what you think Durrell should be, or like how he should move in life. I am going to start beating on my own drum. Like as a black man, right? Especially like as a Southern black man, we are so like we're so conditioned to like restrict ourselves in our movement and in our thought. Like how did you grow past that to be able to blossom like who you are today?
Yeah, I think I started out like a lot of people, like following the rules, looking at like what everyone else is telling me to do, looking up to people who I thought they're my heroes that were really going to look out for me. What I had to realize was either in politics or in business or in whatever, that they would help me so far as it was a benefit to them.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, I mean, and that's not even a malicious thing. Like, I think some people just do it just because. So one of the things that I've always been sure of is if I'm going to fall, if I'm going to mess up, it's going to be because of a decision that I made. And I can eat that. I can eat that. If I go to the casino and I'm like, hey, put it all on red, they're like, hey, don't do it like that. And I'm like, no, look, put it all on red. If it goes on black, I can eat that. But what I can't do is know I should have done something and follow someone else's advice and then it go wrong, right?
Yeah.
Or not be, or buying into someone else's fear. A lot of people operate out of scarcity. They operate out of fear. So I would just say that, like, understanding that a lot of things that I've done came out of trying to work within the system, trying to work with, like, Houston Justice came about as a 501c3 because of stuff I was trying to do with the large historic 501c3s. And so when it became, okay, I'm kind of begging at the, at the committee meeting to get y'all to do this, I'll just go do it. And then I realized there's this friction and stuff is not as hard as you assume that it is. So, yeah.
That's interesting. So what made you decide to bring Ted to Third Ward?
So I've been working on this book for a long time. And, you kind of working with different book coaches or author coaches. I was like, okay, what are my favorite books? I love Malcolm Gladwell. So Outliers, David and Goliath, Tipping Point. Those are like some of my favorite books. And so similar to the way that a comedian tries out their jokes at the clubs before they do their special, right? Their Netflix special. Malcolm Gladwell would do TED Talks to focus group the ideas behind his books. And if they took off, then he knew he had something. So initially, I was like, okay, so I'll do a TEDx talk. So you do a couple of searches and you know how it works these days, the algorithm knows it. So I'm getting all these ads about coaches that can help you get put on a TED stage. So I'm on this sales call, and at the end they telling me that it's $25,000 to $30,000, and that they can guarantee within a year I'll end up on a stage. And similar to the way that Black people have had to do forever, we've often had to find, okay, now this is one way, what's the other way to get to it? So I ended up doing research, and I'm like, you could apply to TED for a license. I'm like, okay, and that's a big idea. You don't know nothing about theater and venues and all of that. It's like, how hard could it be? If another human being can do it, I can do it, right? Yeah. And so, we've done 3 separate events. The first one, it worked, but it's all about revision and, polishing and going back. And so then we came back again, and then we just came back with this 3rd edition, but it was actually 12 separate events. If you really look at it, because there were 6 events that day. There was a 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, and 7. And Matthew Knowles closed it out. And I'll say it is, as everything that I do, it's going to be profit generating. It's going to be sustainable.
Yeah.
We have a saying here at the Black House. I don't do shit for free. Now I do this because I cut for paying, right? But most things I'm thinking about, how can this feed the rest of the ecosystem, right? Mm-hmm. And so bringing it to 3rd Ward, and it's one of the hidden things about that has been, when you think about who applies for a TED, it's naturally going to grow your network. So a lot of the people I end up putting on stage, I'm very intentional about, okay, this person's doing this person's doing that. And how can I leverage that relationship either now or later?
Nah, that is fucking brilliant. I'm not even gonna lie.
People said that it couldn't work. People, when the first time, and most of your dreams should scare you. And they will scare surely the people around you, because trying to explain that to people, they were like, wait a minute, so you're gonna have people to talk and people gonna pay to come? Like, but it's not their vision. God gave me that vision.
Yeah.
So it was me who's like, you know, in the shower thinking like, okay, and here's the way we can do that, and here's the way, like figuring out, thinking ahead of the problems, because it will rain, thunder will come, and if you plan for as much of it, to absorb as much of it as you can, when you do get hit with a left hook, at least everything else is in line, and it's not going to just knock everything over. And so, yeah, like if you would have told me 2 years ago, like, hey, you're going to like direct a TED event, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah. Well, from where I'm sitting, it looked like you've been doing it for years.
Thank you.
No, it was great. And I went to the last one, and Matthew Knowles was phenomenal.
I was tired. Could you tell I was tired?
I mean, no, not really. You know, like when you are a high functioning person, you think that people can like see you, like, you know, because you know you tired, right? But it's like you're high functioning. Yeah. So like, though you're tired, like you're there with a smile, like you're doing things, and like if you were to sit down and tell somebody like everything you did today, they'll go, what?
Yeah.
Like, damn, I'm tired just listening to you go.
Yeah. Well, and what's crazy about that day, we got there at 7 a.m. So I knew I was going to have a conversation with him at the end of the day, but what I hadn't thought about was, Durrell, you're doing a 9 a.m., 11, a 1, a 3, a 5, and then you're going to go put on a suit and sit on the stage and talk to Matthew Knowles at 7?
Yeah.
Did it.
Yeah. I mean, when it's your thing, right? Even though like you're tired, you know, your back hurt or whatever the fuck is going on, it's like this my baby.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm gonna rock it to sleep. Like, cause who, if not me, then who?
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm not. So okay, I got one more question. You wear a lot of hats, bro.
Yes.
You're organizer, you're producer, you're community leader, you're sounding board to your friends, your son. Like, you do all of these things. How do you decide what really deserves your attention? Like, what gets Durrell's undivided attention?
Ooh, that is a very good question. So most of the things that I do, I make sure that there's somebody that is prepared to own it if I don't want to go, right? Mm-hmm. So I do nothing alone. I build nothing like on my own. I always have like I believe a true organizer like is a match that's lit that can light others, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm very much about like when I need to cancel some stuff, I cancel some stuff. When I need to take a nap, I take a nap. I take a nap most days. That's between like somewhere around noon and 3, I'm gonna have an hour. I take an hour to 90-minute nap every day, right? And I put it on my calendar so that like, now, do I necessarily go to sleep every time? No, but I will lay there with my eyes closed for 90 minutes in silence or look at the ceiling and do nothing. Because you kind of need that palate cleanser in order to be A1 for the rest of the day. But I think it's natural. I think people talk about like work-life balance. If you really are in tune and loving what you do, and it takes a while to get there. Like you have to plant and you have to water and you have to put up with a lot of stuff. But eventually that tree starts to bear fruit. And then now you can sell some apples and you can sell some peaches and you can, right? Like now you have a little more that you can pass around. But no, a lot of people think that I'm busy all the time, and I'm really not. I live a very leisure life. It's other people that just make me look good. Like we put in a lot of work, and then that standard of excellence is there. You talk to people who work with me now or that have worked with me, they get to meet the other Durrell, which is like, hey, we got to do it like this. It's got to be like that. Like, there's an expectation, and the right people stay around. Yeah.
And in my, because I've only been an entrepreneur now for like this is my 6th year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
Well, really, the 2018 Farm Bill happened, right? They made THC loophole came. I always wanted to get into the cannabis business, right? There it is. I always wanted to get into the cannabis business. They made it so that we could participate in the cannabis business here in Texas. I was a teacher at the time. I decided like this is my.
You'd have done you need to write the book.
Yeah, I like, like life is to be lived, bro. I watched the W.E.B. Du Bois documentary the other day, and I saw so much of myself in him, right? Like,
where did you see it, on Netflix or where? So I can watch it.
On PBS. It's on PBS.
Yes.
It's on PBS, and I saw so much of myself in him because I just want to like learn, right, and share what I learned, and I want to go and research things, and I want to participate in society in a way that like I can be helpful. And like that's just what he was doing. Like everything that he was doing was in pursuit of like helping somebody else or learning how to make something better for somebody else.
Yes.
So everything that I think of is like, I think it's like the Aquarius in me, like, right, how can I save the world today?
Yeah.
Right. Like if not the world, right, how can I be some version of Moses for people that I'm around to be able to help them get from A to B?
Yep.
And becoming a teacher, right? Like if anything, and that's why I do politics with pain, right? Because I get to teach untethered.
Yes.
I can say whatever I want to say. Yes. I can bring up whatever I want to bring up.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Like, so if you want to know about politics, you can listen to me talk. If you got questions, you can send me a DM, right? We can have class right here. You see me on the street, you want to know something about something, it's a Google search away. Like we can dialogue about it. And that's, like, and I became a teacher just like on some shit like, I just kind of need a job, right? Mm-hmm. But then I started doing it and I was like, oh, this is so fulfilling. But it was unfulfilling within the system that I was operating in. Yeah. And that's why I stopped. And, like I had an opportunity. I'd always wanted to build my own brand. I decided, because it was too much capital at first. I was gonna retail. I applied for my hemp retail license, and I never looked back.
Yep.
So I mean, like now, and I spent the last like 5-6 years like learning how to run a business, how to be strategic, how to market, how to say this, how to say that, how to cultivate an audience, how to be like those things. Like I mean, like I could totally. At this point, write a book on like, oh, you want to start a business?
Yeah, right.
But it takes trying and failing and trying and failing and not sleeping and not eating and then eating too much and then drinking too much and then not eating at all.
Well, and I feel like I'll say this too, and I use the example of the bicycle all the time, like learn to ride a bicycle. When you're starting something new, you're going to fall off the bike. Mm-hmm. And some people, you see a kid learn to ride a bike and they fall and they cry for 30 minutes. No, the quicker you fall, dust yourself off, make those observations and get back on, the faster you learn to ride the bike. So like, I know that like those things come, and it's just like I was dealing with some stuff today. I'm on the phone with figuring some stuff out. There's always a problem that you have to like unwind. But then the same way that you say too, look at all the people that are in your life that are accessible. I think about Kathy Bluford Daniels. I think about my aunt Aljanita. I think about Kay Shepard, Travis McGee, Larry McKenzie, Carla Brown, Tahir Charles, Tina Kingsley, all these different people who said, come here, let me show you something right quick. Mm-hmm. Right. And even when I disagree, because sometimes they give advice and I'm like, with all due respect, I'm still going to do this, like that kind of comes with it. I want to introduce you to Carlos Hernandez because he owns the Mood Room and he actually brews. Usually I'm sipping on that, but I'm sipping on something else today. He brews honeysuckle. So it's a THC seltzer. And that's what I do. I don't smoke, but I will sip. You hear me?
I'm looking to transition into the because I want to introduce honeys, infused honeys and stuff like that, like different things like that. But I definitely want to invest in the drinkable cannabis space, especially with the regulations changing and stuff. You having lunch with him when?
I'm having lunch with him this week. I think like Monday or Tuesday. I'm meeting. Let me look. I'm having
As
lunch on
long-
Wednesdays. I would love to bring you. I would love to bring you along.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because all this is like new to me. I was never a smoker. It never did anything for me. I've tried it before, and it was just one of those things. I'm just like, there's nothing. I don't know. Now this, yeah, this get me right.
Yeah, see, I don't like the way the edibles metabolize inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
It take me too far. Take me too far.
Okay.
Too far.
Well, I can't do the edible. The edibles, I can't do a whole edible. This is only 10 milligrams right here. This is 10.
That should be
And
fine.
it gives me like a nice little sizzle because that's all you need. I'm not trying to go up there. You know, you know.
Nice little watch a movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's all right.
Sleep on the couch. There you go.
I feel like if they should make couch beds.
Yes.
They should figure that out. Whoever figures out couch beds is going to skyrocket. They'll never need money ever again in life. No one in their family.
So when I bought this couch right here, it basically is a couch bed. Like I bought it for that reason. So that is exactly what. Yeah.
You know, with your nap thing. My dad used to live in Italy when he was in the Navy. Like it was like his first duty spot. And he said that every day, there was this old Italian lady, every day she took a nap, and she said taking a nap every day keeps you beautiful.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, because at 3 o'clock, that 4 o'clock meeting, that 5 o'clock meeting, you're gonna be A1 once we had your little sleep.
No, Andre gets upset with me. Hey, see, Andre gets upset with me all the time. Like, are you asleep? Yes, I'm asleep, bro. Yes, I am asleep. Yes, I am asleep. But all right, man, when we get ready to go, Durrell, thank you so much, man. This was awesome. Thank everybody who viewed. Thank everybody who said a comment in the chat. Thank everybody who hated on us today. Just thank you all for the beauty of life. This has been another episode of Politics with Pan. Shout out to Leroy Cook. Durrell, what did you think about the music?
It's good. I'm adding it to my repertoire. I'm gonna hop on Spotify once we hop off of here.
Leroy, you got a new fan.
There you go. Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, baby, it's time to go. Love, laughter, and learning. I hope you did all three of those things today while you was watching us. We'll see you again next Thursday, Durrell. I'm gonna have you back. This is Durrell's second time on the show. We're gonna shoot for 3.
There we go.
Yes, all right. Sir. All right, now have a good night, everybody. Peace.